This week's US CQM forecast alert is real GDP versus real GDI in 2022 Q3. Real GDI growth in 2022 Q3 was 0.3%, well below real GDP growth of 2.9%. October trade deficit on the census base was very large, minus 99 billion, while the S&P 500 surged 5.1% in November. On both the expenditure and the income side, the economic growth rate has been revised downward to negative growth. On the expenditure side, a large trade deficit in October contributed to the downward revision of economic growth. On the income side, the preliminary 2022 Q3 GDP and the rise in the GDP price deflator are main factors to a downward revision of economic growth. Inflation, which has fallen, may start rising again. The PCA forecast revised up economic growth rate to 1.36%, mainly due to the S&P 500 rise in November. Real GDP is not always more accurate than real GDI as an economic growth rate. Real GDP and real GDI show roughly the same average growth rate over the long term, but there is a large divergence in their economic growth rate in each quarter. Therefore, the real GDO is preferable for judging the current economic situation. Conclusion from this week's US CQM forecast alert. First, both the expenditure and income sides of the economy showed negative growth for 2022 Q4. Second, real GDP is not necessarily a more accurate indicator of economic growth than real GDI. Third, therefore, the real GDO is preferable for judging the current state of the economy. Fourth, it is better to use GDINowcast together with GDPNowcast to judge the current economic situation. Fifth, PCA forecast revised economic growth up to 1.36% as the S&P 500 rose 5.1% in November. This slide contains additional information about this week's detailed CQM forecast, the original developer of CQM, and CQM theory papers.